Welcome to Gymnazo's Team Training and Conditioning Dynamic Warm-Up Series. First warm-up we're going to be looking at is a step reach matrix. Step reach matrix is a multivitamin of motion, taking the body through all three planes of motion: sagittal plane, frontal plane, and the transverse plane. The goal is to get the body ready for all types of motion inside the gym, outside the gym, and in daily life. We're going to take the arms and the trunk and the core, of course the spine, through flexion and extension, right and left lateral flexion, and right and left rotation. Also taking the hips, knees, and ankles, and of course the foot, through extension, flexion, abduction and adduction, and internal and external rotation. We accomplish that by 7 reaches with the arms: a neutral reach, a right and left rotation reach, an over the head right reach, an over the head left reach. We also accomplish it by extension of the arms, trunk, and also flexion. We accomplish this by the feet or through the hips by taking what we call an anterior common step. We do that with both sides. We also do what we call a common same-side lateral step. We do that with both sides. And also with common rotational reach step, with both sides. We also have 3 uncommon steps. We have one that's called a posterior. We don't do that because it's the same thing as just lunging forward with the opposite leg. However, we do what we call an uncommon frontal plane step that gets adduction in the hip, and also with the opposite side. We also do it with getting internal rotation with our hip by taking an uncommon transverse plane step. We do that with both sides. We take all these steps and all these reaches to accomplish our warm-up goal. Let's put the steps and the reaches into motion. First thing we're going to do is an anterior right step. Do that same step 7 times with all of our different 7 reaches. So, anterior step, neutral reach. Anterior step to the right, and then with the right rotation reach, getting right rotation of the spine and extension of our left hip. We'll go through the same motion to the left side. Then we'll get right lateral flexion of the spine, left lateral flexion of the spine. This is the best one, I think. Posterior overhead gives the extension of the entire body on the left side, and of course through the trunk. Then we've got our last one, just anterior step flexion at the ground. Do the exact same thing with the left side. Now we get extension through the right hip. Neutral reach. Same side rotational reach. Opposite side rotational reach. Same side lateral flexion reach. Opposite side lateral flexion reach. Posterior overhead. Then anterior at ground. Now we'll take it through the frontal plane. The goal of the frontal plane, at least on the common step, is to get abduction of our opposite side hip. Lunging to the right. Neutral reach, good extension throughout the hip. Now we'll go through our same side rotation. A little bit more stretch there. Opposite side rotation. Same side lateral flexion. Opposite side lateral flexion, a little bit more of the stretch. Posterior overhead. Then anterior at ground reach. The same side, same thing with the opposite side. Neutral. Same side rotation. Opposite side rotation. Same side overhead lateral flexion. Opposite side overhead lateral flexion. Posterior overhead, anterior at ground. Now let's take the hip through external rotation. Do that by same side right lateral lunge. That's the positioning. Got my external rotation in my opposite side hip. Now I'm doing neutral reach, bring it back home. Here we go through the sequence again. Right rotation. Left rotation. Take note that my knee is in position with my foot. It can rotate slightly, but it rotates with the ankle and with the hip, never independently. Come back home. Over the head, right side, lateral flexion. Over the head, left side, lateral flexion. My best one, over the back, extension, getting great extension through that hip, also external rotation of the hip, then down to the ground. The exact same thing, the opposite side. Neutral, same side rotation, opposite side rotation, same side lateral flexion of the spine, of course, opposite side lateral flexion, posterior overhead, and anterior ground. Those are our common steps. Now go into our uncommon steps. We're going to get adduction of our opposite side hip from our stepping foot. Squat down, get a load through the glute, got a nice little neutral reach. Here we go through the cycle again. Same side rotation, increases that stretch through the outside hip, opposite rotation. Over the top, lateral flexion. Funky position that makes the body work and get ready for all types of motion. Posterior overhead, anterior at ground. Opposite side. Make the right side get a little bit of love here. Extension. Same side rotation. Opposite side rotation. Overhead lateral flexions now. To the right. And the opposite side to the left. Posterior overhead. Anterior at ground. Now, transverse plane, internal rotation, left side of the hip. Reach through, post around. It's like I'm turning the corner, lunge into it, reach out. Go through the same 7 sequences, 6 more. 5 left. Same side lateral flexion. Opposite lateral flexion. Posterior overhead. Last one, anterior ground. Last but not least, right side internal rotation, transverse plane, neutral. Same side rotation. Opposite rotation. Same side lateral flexion. Opposite side lateral flexion. Posterior overhead. Last but not least, anterior ground. All those motions gain all types of flexibility, some mobility, but at every single joint of our body. Best part about it, get your heart rate going a little bit. Prepares your body, as you just saw, for multiple motions. Take care.